Hi everybody, Steve from Steve's Makerspace here, and today we are back in Scrap Mechanic working on a drum line. I've really enjoyed watching drum line videos. I'll give you a little sample in a minute, but first, before I get into that, just wanted to point out that I've done a couple of videos, 3 videos, 2 Minecraft videos where I'm playing Mo Creatures and Pam's Harvest Craft, and also a video of Polybridge where I try to beat Con and Durf's scores in Polybridge. So you might check those out if you like. So now let me show you a sample drum line, kind of give you a flavor of what I was going for in Scrap Mechanic. I believe this is the Marine Corps playing against the Korean Army. Now what I accomplished in Scrap Mechanic turned out to be a little closer to this. Yay! Cute kid. But anyway, with that warm introduction, let's see what I made. Now here's a version with 3 snares, but it's a little more laggy, so it goes slower. Alright, let's see how it works. The black line is for the bass drum. The blue line is for 2 different sounds for the cymbals, 2 hi-hat sounds, and they're color-coded so you can follow what's going on. When there's a block on the track, the sensor picks it up and sends a signal to the timer, and after a short delay it goes to the note block. Then these colored blocks control the movement of the bass player and those the cymbal player. We'll go around back to the behind the players and look at the controllers, and you can see I've color-coded all of the controllers to match the track and the sensor colors, and those all go to different bearings to control the movement of the arms, the legs, etc. I sped up the controllers and JSON editing to make them 4 times faster than a regular controller. And now we'll look at the snare drum side, and these first 3 sets of rows are controlling the sounds of the 3 different snare drums, and it's also controlling the downward movement of the arm when they're hitting the snare drum. And that's why it goes through a timer, so that you get the movement started before the drum sound actually happens. I've got the music bar set up for 4/4 time, and there's 2 music blocks for each note, because if you want to have quarter notes you have to alternate between one and the other. Otherwise, if you just have 2 blocks in a row, it'll only play 1 note. Over on this side is where you control the various movements of the snare drummers. You can change the notes and the movements just by adding or removing these blocks. I'll also put a blank music line on the workshop in case you want to start from scratch and make your own stuff. The white spot is where you put the lift if you want to put the band back together. This comes in 3 parts on the workshop. You will want to weld the music platform to the ground first. The reason it comes in 3 parts is because it will get quite laggy. I also want to give you the choice of either using the 2 snares or the 3 snares. The 2 snares is a lot less laggy, but the 3 snares I think looks cooler. I'd actually hoped to have 10 snares, but that didn't work. In fact, the reason the snares and the other guys are on separate vehicles is because of lag. I had to completely separate them and figure out a way using a sensor to get them moving at the same time. I tried to make this vanilla, but in the end I used the mod pack because I wasn't happy with the engine speed, and I wanted to have a variable engine speed. So I've got that, and there's another one over here, so if you want to change the speed, you'd have to change it on both and have it be the exact same speed. And here's how I get both vehicles moving at the same time. I turn this on, the wood flips up, and the sensor activates the engine over there, and then the sensor on that side activates the engine on this side. The lower rear sensor is activating the main engine, and then this second sensor is if this vehicle falls behind, then a second engine kicks in to add a little more power to get it to catch up. So I've got double bearings over here for the 2 different engines. There are also stabilizers and these guide wheels to keep the vehicle moving smoothly. And then I'll just point out that I've got all the tote-bot heads right around the seat so that you can hear easy, and tote-bot heads directed towards the seat over on that side. Lastly, I'll point out that you could, if you want, completely remove this bass and cymbal section and replace it with a different one. So if you wanted to have 2 different riffs, you could easily switch back and forth just by welding one in place. And I suppose you could do that with other sections as well if you want. And that's it. I'll have links to everything in the description, and time to wrap up the video. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. As always, please like, subscribe, share with friends, and give me some comments. I'd love to hear what you think of this. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Steve's Makerspace.